Well, Gabriel Jesus Medico has been set and scheduled. All more and that into this story. That's why I have to keep onto this channel because it will bring you all the latest news and updates as far as they are concerned with the sources where they are coming in from. Raphinha update. Loads of credible journalists David Austin, Fabrizio Romano, Christian Taylor, and very many others coming out and really giving us a hint onto what we call Raphinha to Arsenal and when is the bid expected to go in and so on and so forth. Then there is something concerning Thomas Partey. He returns from injury and is 100% fit and ready to train with Arsenal in there. For you remember, Arsenal is resuming its training on Monday, and it's rumored that most Arsenal stars who never really took part into the international break are into the London Conley already in there for you. Then there is a story I really want to come in and really show you of this young man, Mika Bireth. I really love him a lot, and he has really gone ahead to score on his debut for the club where he was sold in Netherlands in there for you. Welcome to Rokani Media Football. How are you guys and where are you watching us from? It's a good evening this side. I don't know where you're watching us from. Is it a good morning, a good afternoon, or a good evening, you guys? It's all up to you. It's all up to you, and I'm really passing the love over to you in here for you. Smash the like button, comment and share, and then subscribe to our channel because we want to hit the 10K subscriber mark before the end of this month in there for you. It can happen. Dreaming big is not bad. We can see this happen onto this channel in there for you. Without further ado, we go straight into the start of this episode, as well as you guys that are really watching us in. A first story we are doing onto this day, it's a loan watch for Arsenal. Arsenal loanee Mika Bireth scores a brace on his debut for Eredivisie side RKC Waalwijk. That is Mika Bireth. Mika Bireth is a player that was signed into the summer from Fulham and has been playing for the under-23s of Arsenal in there for you and the reserve side of Arsenal in the Premier League. So he is a goal scorer. He scored close to 29 goals while at Arsenal into the under-23s and the reserve team of Arsenal in the Premier League. And guess what? He was loaned, I think, like 2 days back, and now in their pre-season game, Mika Bireth has scored a brace. This team has really beaten another team by 5 goals to 1, and Mika Bireth has scored a brace. What a welcome! And this guy is a goal machine. He's a goal machine, and you're really going to hear more of his stories into the season we are really getting to. In the Eredivisie, he is really going to go in and score goals, and you never know, in the nick of time, you'll hear him that next season is coming in back at Arsenal reporting, because in the Eredivisie, he's going to score close to 15 or 20 goals. We will be here. I've seen this lad. He's talented. He's good at what he does. And he's one of the big prospects from the England national team in there for you. From the English young talents that are developing, he's one of the most prospects that are really looked at as the deadly strikers that are really going to come back into the picture of the likes of Hurricanes, Wayne Rooney's, and so on and so forth in there for you. So congratulations, Mika Bireth, for scoring a brace onto your debut in RKC Waalwijk in Eredivisie in there for you. So that's our first story of the day, and then we get into our second one. Marseille are still confident they can land Arsenal defender William Saliba on a permanent basis. That is RMC. Then RMC is coming in from France, and Marseille really want this player who goes by the names of William Saliba. But even Arsenal want William Saliba. That's why Arsenal in the market, they've only gone for one central defender, because they believe William Saliba is reporting back at London Conley and is going to be partnering with either Gabriel Magalhaes or Ben White. But to me, my thoughts are really telling me that, are telling me that William Saliba is going to battle it with Ben White into that position. That's what I really think. But William Saliba really had a very good season, and he helped his side Marseille to qualify for the Champions League, and he said he wants to play for the Champions League, but he does not belong to Marseille. He belongs to Arsenal. Marseille are really planning a very huge bid to Arsenal, close to 30 million euros, to get this player to Marseille. But Arsenal look like they are reluctant and they want this player back at London Conley, because Mikel Arteta believes that he is one of those pieces that are missing to fulfill his jigsaw, to say to it that he really gets back into where Arsenal is. And Mikel Arteta is not a manager that wants to waste time at Arsenal. He really believes that it's right time for Arsenal to win something. Leave alone the FA Cup, leave alone the Community Shield, but I'm meaning serious trophies. A Premier League or a UEFA Europa League, one of those two trophies, Mikel Arteta is going for them. When you look at the signings he's chasing, my dear, Mikel Arteta is showing his bosses that please get me my players early enough. I want to go in the preseason with his players. In my in my opening game of the Premier League with Crystal Palace, I want to beat Crystal Palace and revenge them because they beat me 3-1. I want to revenge to them in a very bad way in their way. And the body's not doing him an injustice. They are trying to get in deals done. You've heard Arsenal have agreed to deal with Gabriel Jesus, and very soon I'm going to bring you a story of Gabriel Jesus medical confirmed in there for you that is going to happen in there for you. It has been scheduled by Arsenal and it's coming soon. So Saliba William is expected back at Arsenal in there for you. I think a week after Monday, because he was so much involved into the France International UEFA Nations League tournament, where they played 4 games, and each and every player that played into the international break within South America, Africa, Europe has been given an allowance of 1 more week to rest and then report to the training the next week. That is close to, is it 2nd or 3rd in there, July? That's when the expected report in there for you. That includes players like El Nini, did he play for Egypt? El Nini, Aaron Ramsdale, Benny White, Tomiyasu, Emily Smith-Rowe played for the under-21s, Bukayo Saka. Those are not reporting immediately. And I think Gabriel Jesus even too, because he was so much involved with Brazil. Even if they sign him, he won't be here. But the likes of Fabio Vieira, Matt Turner, which other player? Marquinhos are going to be part of the Arsenal training side in there. And we move to the other story that is going to excite very many Arsenal players in there for you. And Thomas Partey is now fully fit and ready for preseason, reports Charles Schwartz. Charles Schwartz is an Arsenal correspondent for Goal. He is one of those flies in the wall when you want to get Arsenal news from the camp of Arsenal, and they are even on a payroll, though it's not official, but the club really gets them allowances for reporting good for them and not tarnishing their image. So Charles Schwartz has come out and said Thomas Partey is fully fit and ready for the preseason. Good news to Arsenal fans all over the world. Thomas Partey returning. He's one of the best central midfielders that Arsenal are having, and every time he played, it was hard for Arsenal to lose this season. Every time he never played, Arsenal almost lost. That is the quality of Thomas Partey, and that's what he really believe brings to Arsenal. And that's the reason that Arsenal fans can give you for welcoming him back from injury. They're excited, but their only worry is, why is he an injury-prone player? Why don't they really treat him to see to it that he really gets back to where he's supposed to be? When he was playing at Atletico Madrid, I never had Thomas Partey go through these injuries. At Arsenal, I don't know what's wrong, whether the training is not all that to that level, but he really gets lots of injuries. But in most cases, Thomas Partey does not get these injuries on training. The first injury that he got at the beginning of the season, they are playing in the series tournament with Chelsea. It was with the Spurs, and I think, was it Bergwijn or Winks stepped on his ankle and he went out for like 2 months. Then when returned, he played very well. Then there was a game, was it in the game of Liverpool, where he got an injury. I think he got injured thrice in a single season. That is so much for a player who is so much pivotal for Arsenal, and that's why you see that Arsenal really going in for Tielemans. They need another central midfielder, because when Thomas Partey is away, they really look weak into that midfield. However much there is Sambi Lokonga and El Nini, but the manager has not yet trusted them to do that job very well. But it looks like Thomas Partey has returned and is going to be among those players on Monday to train at London Colney with Mikel Arteta, joined with the likes of Marquinhos, Fabio Vieira, Matt Turner, and very many others in there for you. So welcome back, Thomas Partey, and we wait to see what news is going to tell us tomorrow about Kieran Tierney. Is he 100% back fit? Because he underwent a surgery of his ankle. You get? Because it was really paining. He underwent that He underwent that surgery, and we are waiting to see what the results are going to be, because they told us that he is going to be fit by the start of the preseason in there for you. So we go to the Raphinha story. These have been reported 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. 5 times Raphinha stories have really headlined everything. First and foremost has been Relevo. Relevo in there for you is coming from Brazil, and Redisheheman in there for you. They've said Arsenal is leading the race for Raphinha at the moment. There is no full agreement yet, but the parties are in constant contact and continue to get closer. Another big update that Arsenal is really leading the race for Raphinha. Arsenal has every reason to lead the race for Raphinha, because Edu leading the deal is a Brazilian. He has been assured of playing time. And when you look at all the teams around, the only team that is really going to go in and start playing, that is Raphinha, or a team where Raphinha is assured of purity of stats, is Arsenal. Because at Arsenal, he really believes that I'm better than Bukayo Saka. I can put up a performance that Bukayo Saka cannot put up. And when you go at Spurs, there is Kulusevski. He put up a very wonderful performance, and he knows that Kulusevski is talented. So he really believes that a move to Arsenal is really so much legit for him. When you look at Chelsea, there is Mason Mount, there is Kai Havertz. They are planning to bring Raheem Sterling and very many other players. So the competition is stiff. But at Arsenal, he can really get into that play, and that's why he has chosen Spurs, has chosen Arsenal over all other teams in there for you. And we go to another report about Raphinha. Arsenal are set to make a new improved bid for Raphinha. The deal is said to be in an advanced stage in there for you. When you hear that a bid is in advanced stage, this is a reporter known as Jack Rosa, football reporter for The Sun, in there for you. And the deal is in advanced stage, and Arsenal are really required to make an improved bid. Remember, the first one was turned down by Leeds. It was on the table, 55 million euros plus 15 million euros. Leeds feel like they want close to 60 million euros. You get upfront fee. So I think Arsenal can add in some 5 in there for you. We go to David Austin. He says Arsenal to intensify efforts next week to sign Raphinha from Leeds. More talks planned with 25 years camp and increased offer extended. Feeling among other suitors is Arsenal now leading, and he is said to be open to joining them via Phil Harry and a man who goes by names of Austin. When you read all these stories, they just confirm to us that Raphinha to Arsenal is a deal that is just a step away from getting a confirmation like we got yesterday from David Austin and Fabrizio Romano that Arsenal has agreed a deal with Man City, and they have now allowed Gabriel Jesus to talk to Arsenal, and he can go on and do whatever he wants with Arsenal, and they agree their personal terms. So Raphinha to Arsenal is also nearing that level of agreeing a deal between Arsenal and Leeds. And Arsenal are really good at negotiating these deals, and we expect all that for the best for Raphinha in there for you. Then we go to the other story in there for you. London Highbury says Arsenal's next offer for Raphinha is the third improved bid by the club and will be offered next week. Everything concerning Raphinha looks like it's all about bidding, and Arsenal are leading the race. I've not had any team really going in to put another bid. Spurs looks like they've quit this stage. They've quit the competition and they're out of the deal. They're really chasing for Richarlison from Everton, and I think they can go and get him because he can play on both flanks very well, and he can lead the line, by the way, if at all Harry Kane really gets an injury. So I think that's why Antonio Conte is so much looking at Richarlison. He can lead the line, he can play on the right and left sides of the midfield, especially in the attacking areas, and he is so much hardworking and believes that if getting in Raphinha, who is a Brazilian, who only really plays well off the left and right attacking flanks of the midfield, why don't I get in a player why don't I get in a player who can play 3 positions, who can play all the 3 forward positions of the attack of Spurs? That is Richarlison in there for you, and Antonio Conte has really shifted from Raphinha, and they're going in for a player who goes by the names of for the player who goes by the names of Richarlison. And what is going to make the Richarlison deal to Spurs really happen or really hurry enough, it's that even Everton have a player they're interested in to get from Spurs, Harry Winks. They want him on a loan. So I think it's very easy to crack a deal between these two people. Harry Winks can cross or be part of the deal, and Spurs can cough in like 50 million pounds because Richarlison is valued at 60 and 65 million pounds by Everton in there for you. And that is something concerning Raphinha in there for you. Then Ryan Taylor Sport has come out and said Raphinha is now of priority to Arsenal, who are expected to return with an improved offer once they have tied up the remaining formalities with Gabriel Jesus and his representatives after Man City gave permission to discuss terms with the player. Ryan Taylor Sport is there for you. So when you look at what Ryan Taylor is telling us, Raphinha is a priority for Arsenal, but it looks like they are really holding the Raphinha deal to next week. They want to use Saturday and Sunday to complete everything concerning Gabriel Jesus because Man City gave them permission to discuss terms with the player who goes by the names of Gabriel Jesus. But some of the terms have been already agreed, but it's just certain nitty-gritties that are really left to see the deal come to a happening, because what is left is Arsenal agreeing personal terms with Gabriel Jesus, then the rest will be history and the deal will come to happening, because Man City has already accepted that after you guys are getting done with Gabriel Jesus, get us a 45 million pounds plus 10 million pounds add-ons, then you take the player. So that is something that is so good. And Raphinha is postponed to next week, so expect lots of news of Raphinha next week. And by the end of next week, you might hear a here we go from Fabrizio Romano or David Austin that Raphinha to Arsenal is a done deal in there for you, as you've heard that of Gabriel Jesus, and they're really doing the needful to go in and do the needful and do the medicals and so on and so forth. Let's get into the Gabriel Jesus story that most of you really want. Grammy Bailey is the man behind this confirmation. He works for 90 Minute More Football in there for you, and he has come out and said Gabriel Jesus is now due in London for a medical, and his representatives iron out personal terms. Which are expected to be completed over the weekend. Gabriel Jesus is expected to become Arsenal's highest paid player, earning in excess of £250,000 a week. Now, everyone is saying what he wants, but that shows you that the sum of money that Gabriel Jesus is going to earn is between £250,000 a week to £260,000 a week. That's what he is going to earn as his weekly wages at a side which goes by the names of Arsenal. But he has hinted of a medical, because Man City, as this man who goes by the names of Ryan Taylor told you, that Man City have given Arsenal permission to discuss terms with the player. So Arsenal have really scheduling a medical for Gabriel Jesus, because I think he's away in Brazil on holiday, and he's supposed to come in here and do a medical in London only, and then after everything will go on and paperwork will be signed and everything will be done and dusted for this man. But the deal is expected to be completed in there for you, and the medical is scheduled by Arsenal in there for you. Then another story came out and indicated that Sky Sports say the 25-year-old will complete his medical and finalize personal terms before the transfer is completed. And Football Insider claims Jesus has been given permission to undergo his medical before signing a 5-year contract at the Emirates. Of course, this is something that is accustomed to every team. Before you go to that team and you sign that deal, you have to first undergo a medical. When you pass it, then they go in and pay that money to the team that has really coming through. But it looks like a medical of Gabriel Jesus is scheduled. And I think by the end of next week, he will be at London only to undergo a medical, and we'll hear that Gabriel Jesus has flight from Brazil, coming to Arsenal, and everything is going to be done. I really believe that Gabriel Jesus' deal is going to be done next week. Saturday and Sunday, Edu is using it to negotiate the deal very well. After negotiating that deal very well, then Gabriel Jesus will come in and do a medical, and then paperwork will be signed, and money will cross hands from Arsenal to Man City, and Gabriel Jesus will be officially announced as an Arsenal player in there for you. So the Gabriel Jesus medical next week, most probably, as you've heard from Grammy Bailey, that Man City has given Arsenal a green light to go on and do everything they want with their player, because they believe that the player now belongs to Arsenal, though nothing has not been signed. If a agreement is in place, and Arsenal believe like they have this player in there for you. So I go by the names of Rokani David onto this channel. Feel free to go into the comment section and tell me what you think about Gabriel Jesus medical scheduled, Raphinha update. All rumors indicate that Arsenal are leading the race for Raphinha, and almost every team that was really rivaling Arsenal has really gotten out of the race. Chelsea looks like they are out because Ousmane Dembele has fallen out with Barcelona. A deal was nearly going to be agreed, but Ousmane Dembele wants close to 18 million euros, and Barcelona cannot afford that money. So it looks like they are parting ways with him, and Chelsea have also backed out and said, all right, we're not going to go in for Raphinha. Let's go and get in an Ousmane Dembele who is on a free transfer. What do you think about the Raphinha deal? Spurs look like they're saying, let's go for your fellow Brazilian Richarlison, because for him, he can play in all three positions of the forward attacking of Tottenham Hotspur, and they know that he can play as a center forward, a right winger, and a right forward and a left forward. Richarlison can do all that very well, and that's why Spurs are really going in for him. Thomas Partey returning. That's another story that I'm waiting your reactions on, because I know you guys have divided thoughts about his return in there for you. Then you have also right to go in and tell us about, sorry, I was really switching on because my laptop battery was really running down. So Thomas Partey is back, and excitement from Arsenal fans. I'm waiting to see how you guys are going to be excited. Then the other story is all about Mika Bireth, who is in Elvedizi, La Jarawa Jidink in there for you. He is there on a loan, and on his debut, he has gone ahead to score a brace. Which other story are we left with? William Saliba to Arsenal. Marseille want to pay Arsenal some money to get William Saliba back and not really return to Arsenal. Your reactions are welcome into the comment section below. Smash the like button, subscribe to this channel, and hit the notification bell that will enable you get notified each and every time we upload a video onto this channel. We are on a marathon. We are running left, right, and center to see to it that we bring you the best production in here onto this channel. But I think today we've given you lots of stories. How many have we given you today? Let me see. Oh my God. This is the 5th story that we are doing today. It's the 4th story. All right, let's see. 1 or 2 more to go, and it's going to be a marathon that you guys love. I'm out.